Significant figures questions require respondents to give a numerical answer in scientific notation with a specified number of significant figures. Numbers in scientific notation are randomly generated within the problem, ensuring the question is unique for each respondent. Fill out the general fields as described in the Common Elements tutorial. In the question text, notice the letters enclosed in curly braces. As in arithmetic questions, these correspond to variables that we'll create below. As in arithmetic questions, each variable must be given a name, minimum and maximum values, and a step value. In this question type, all of these numbers are entered in scientific notation. Our first variable is named d. It can range from a minimum of 1 to a maximum of 100, and the spacing between values may be as small as 0.1. For example, d could take on a value of 52.6. However, a value of 52.63 would not be possible, since the step value is not small enough to allow for this. The second variable is named a. This variable ranges from a minimum of 1,000 to a maximum of 3 million. The spacing between values can be as small as 1,000. As in arithmetic questions, the correct answer is specified by entering a formula. Next, select the number of significant figures answers must contain. This does not influence the number of significant figures displayed in the question text. Beside this field, you can allocate a percentage of the question's total point value to the correct use of significant figures. Here, we'll set this value to 25%. Since we gave the question a total point value of 4, this means that 1 point will be lost if learners include the wrong number of significant figures. Beneath this, there are several options for adding a tolerance to the correct answer. By default, the first option is selected, which means that any answer within 0.5 of the least significant digit will be considered correct. You can also choose to specify your own tolerance, either in scientific notation or in terms of a percentage of the correct answer. There is also an option to require learners to include units in their answer. This works exactly as described in the arithmetic tutorial. We can now test the formula with the variables and options we've set. This page generates a sample value for each variable and walks us through the calculations according to the formula entered. If desired, enter a hint and feedback for the question. We can now preview the question. The upper portion of the preview shows how the question will look to learners. The variables have been replaced with random numbers in scientific notation. To enter their answers in scientific notation, learners are given a field for the coefficient and a field for the exponent. Below, we see the information that will be given when grading. This displays the correct answer with the correct number of significant figures. When satisfied with the question, click Save. Significant figures questions are commonly used in math and science courses to assess learners' ability to work with scientific notation and significant figures.